Calisthenics exposed.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. We back again with another video, Behind the Bars, Calisthenic Exposed. Now, a lot of people are talking, saying all kind of stuff, but we love to talk. Good publicity, bad publicity is all good publicity, as they say, right? Good or bad. So we kind of like, you know what I mean? Just like a little dirt on the shoulder, a little fly, you kind of like, there's a lot of talk going on, especially in the calisthenic community. But we're not gonna get all the way into that. Let's talk a little bit about Giant, the CEO of Bartenders. And if you guys don't know about Bartenders, they were one of like the first teams when it comes to calisthenics. They started a wave, worldwide, right? When it comes to tricks on the bar, different styles of pull-ups, you name it. They came with it. Obviously, it was a little bit after or around maybe the same time as iBorn, right? It's some discrepancy when it comes to that. Was iBorn the first doing it at that level? Did Giant get that from iBorn? XYZ? That's another story within itself that I'll cover on the next time. And guys, remember, Rip Right HD, I did 38 videos on bar history. And I'm gonna about to tell you how it all started. If you notice something about Team Rip Right, we are the only ones in the game that has ever touched on the legends, especially from my era, right? There's the new school, there's the old school, and then there's, I consider my school 6, 7 years ago when I came into the game, birthed a whole new era. So I'm like in between the OGs and the new school, right? And if you look, a lot of people learned about Hannibal. Although Hannibal was viral, we're talking about the new school. A lot of people learned about Zeph. A lot of people learned about Matrix, Beast, you name it. The list goes on from our bar history, from our videos, talking about my top 10 legends, going on and on, trying to keep the legends alive. However, do I agree with every legend? Do I like every legend personally? No, there's a few people on my list that we just don't get along, and it is what it is. But let's get into how I kind of like met Giant and how we got the ball rolling and actually how we fell out. So now, as far as the initial meeting of Giant, I for some reason I can't remember how we met, but I know once we did, we locked in because at this time it's 2019. It's pre-pandemic. The pandemic hasn't even hit yet. But I'm going crazy when we're talking about Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I'm talking about I'm on all of the platforms. I don't know if TikTok was out yet, but I know TikTok was out a while before I actually got on TikTok and went viral. But in any event, we link up, find out he Muslim. Alhamdulillah. I'm like, oh man, obviously at this time, I'm a student of the game because when I came into calisthenics, I was like, wow, all of these different teams, you know me, all of these different savages, these dudes is incredible on the bar. Let's get to it. So when I found out about Giant, the Bartenders, and I started doing my research, and obviously we connected, I was hype. You know what I mean? I was hype. He was definitely on that list for me. Yeah, he's a legend. He's somebody that I gotta get next to, somebody I gotta learn the game from, XYZ. And when I say the game, I just mean like as far as the calisthenic game, the history, what happened, because at this point, I want to know why y'all been working out in these parks for the last 20 years. Why nobody has a gym? Why hasn't calisthenics become as big as CrossFit? Why calisthenics is not in the Olympics? So this was my play. Now at this time, Giant is maybe at 17,000 followers. Now check this out. He was stuck at 17,000 followers for a while. I don't remember where my followers is at, but at the end of the day, I was pushing the envelope so hard that everybody started to notice me. Like it was undeniable. Even in 2019, at the beginning, people seen something, you know, they seen the Rip Right rave coming. So basically, when I linked up with Giant, I initially obviously brought my team and his team together. So it was Rip Right Bartenders. And I was gonna do something called Rip Right Bartenders International. You could ask my boy Bar Boy, which is also known as Freeze. I used to talk to him on a consistent basis about my plans and making this thing worldwide and what I was gonna do. But at this time, I didn't know Bartenders was non-existent. You know what I mean? I'm not paying no attention to it. Even when I came into the calisthenic game, I'm not realizing that at this time, 2019, NYC calisthenics was dead. I'm talking about it was dead. 2019, as I said before, Scott Bernhard, That's Good Money, and Bam Bam and Earth Fitness Journals. Anybody else? I'm not talking about New Jersey, Ohio, Ken. I'm talking about NYC calisthenics. Those was the only four that was holding up the torch, pushing the calisthenics on YouTube, you name it. And as I said, other dudes was in their own little lane. There was little competitions every now and again, little link ups, but it was nothing going on. And the same thing was happening with the bartenders. But me, I'm just pushing the culture. So when I get with Giant, I'm doing mad videos. I'm doing videos with him. At this time, he connected with my guy Sean. If you know Grit City Gym in the Bronx, where I hold all my competitions. I had the last 16 Cellar on the Bars, basically, or 15 Cellar on the Bars at his gym. You know, from the year before that, he had a big spot, a big space. Him and Giant collabed. They knew each other for a long time. And Giant was a part owner in this specific gym. So it was like perfect timing. So 2019, it was kind of cold at this time. I was in and out that gym, you know what I mean? I had a membership and it was just me and Giant. You know, I was shooting videos. Obviously, Freeze eventually came down, chopping it up with him. So I'm pushing the agenda, and obviously, you know, dudes was coming to me like, yo, like, what you doing around him? But I don't know what's going on. Come to find out, Giant is almost like, you know, what is it called? He's the villain, quote unquote, amongst calisthenic athletes. Like the entire calisthenic community. They, you know, they like, yo, Giant got beef with everybody. He got beef with Zeth. You know, he used to have beef with Beast. He has beef with Q France. He has beef with this. Like, and it's just like in my head, you know, not to mention Q France, because that's not a valid point. I mean Matrix. You know, the whole MBXA. I'm like, what is going on here? So I start talking to Giant like, yo, listen, I got to do a bar history. I need to find out the foundation, how this happened, why you got beef with Hannibal, why you got beef with all of these dudes in calisthenics, and I'm going to put these videos out. He's like 100% with it. We done made shirts, collabed. I got the Rip Right on the front of the shirt. I got the Mind Up, the Giant logo on the back. I'm selling Rip Right Bartenders t-shirts. We lit. In this same instant, this is where I first met Shy Bugs. You know what I mean? Also known as Calisthenic Prince. And we're going to get into his linking up and actually falling out. And obviously, he fell out from Giant as well. The story goes on. So I do my first bar.
The Ripstick is a powerful little tool that fits right in your pocket. You can use it anywhere, home, gym, or even on the go. It's designed to target your smaller, stabilizing muscles that calisthenics and weightlifting usually miss. Great for shoulder rehab, injury prevention, and full upper body activation. It's super convenient, affordable, and also hits your abs hard. Whether you're a beginner or advanced, the Ripstick takes your training to the next level.